Peter Fury, and don't forget to subscribe to Porky's Corner, because I've been a helmet of the month and you need to listen to me. Yeah? So follow him, yeah? And get the fella some followers up, for Christ's sake. He wears his heart on his sleeves, the good man Russ. So follow Porky's Corner, he says it as it is, and you know, I appreciate the helmet of the month, Russ. No problem.
No problem, thank you very much.
You're welcome, mate.
Hello all you hardcore boxing fans out there, how are we doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. Back in the hot seat. Before I start, I just want to say a big thank you to Dean Bate. He had his teeth done with Cosmetic Beach, and he had his teeth done after me, and he got finished on his second session before me. So I had a lot more healing than him to do. So thanks very much, Dean. I've just picked it up from my desk. You're on my desk actually. They signed for it next door, so thanks very much. Right, what I did when I was away, I just got my pad. There you go. In between dentist sessions, I just jotted a few things down side of pool. Just there's loads of stuff I jotted down. We'll do some videos on this. I give me an opinion on it, but I'm going to save all this and probably ask similar questions to people that come on channel, my regulars. So here we go. Let's have a little look what we've got. Porky's little box of tricks. What next for Tyson Fury and Dillian White? Well, the main thing is that Dillian White gets paid, isn't it? Because he fought. He didn't win a 30-second block of any round. He turned up and he fought, didn't he? All the other stuff, whether it helped promote it or what, I don't know. I don't know what contract. I don't care, to be honest. But the main thing is he gets paid. But what next for him? I don't know really. The golfing class were there to see, wasn't it? Really. Tyson's a masterful boxer. Masterful boxer. Nobody can say otherwise, can they really? Masterful boxer, and give him a beating, didn't he? And you have to give him credit. He had more in his locker. And now he took him out at end, but just classic on it. He never showed him that punch all fight. All fight. So I give him credit where credit's due. Does that make Tyson a GOAT? Needs a few more wins on his record to be a GOAT, but you'd have to put him up there with Lennox Lewis as the best we've ever had in this country, wouldn't you, really? What next for him? I don't see Fury retiring. Not at all. He tells more lies than Tom Pepper. Will White retire? No, I think he'll end up a gatekeeper. He's a millionaire, so he's done well, hasn't he? But for a man of limited ability who came to boxing from K1, you've got to give him credit. So he'll fight on. He'll probably fight an easy one next. Who knows, Joshua? I don't know. Maybe he'll just go straight for Joshua or a pay-per-view fight, because Dillian White could get found out if he fights anybody less. If he fights, I don't know, a guy that's not pay-per-view, some domestic level guy or a European level guy, and it's not pay-per-view, he'll get found out. So Dillian White's in a position now where he has to go for the pay-per-views. So that's what I think for next for him. And Fury, he'll just be waiting around for Joshua payday, won't he? Or Francis Ngannou, is it? He'll want to fight him with boxing rules and get paid, won't he? That's what Fury will want to do. It's about money for him now. He's won every belt, hasn't he? And good luck to him. What did I think to the show as a whole? A load of crap, a load of rubbish. Undercard worst I've ever seen on a pay-per-view. And you can take that to the bank, Bricktop. Oh, Bricktop is taking it to the bank, isn't he? He's taking every penny. The undercard garbage, as I've just said. The thing with the beer, where they were scooping beer out at waist and setting him up on a table and all that, that was disgusting. That was disgusting. It's been going on for years, that at Wembley. That was disgusting. So it was all trashy, crap undercard, blah blah blah. But the knockout saved the show from Fury, didn't it? If that hadn't been a knockout, God, I don't know what to think. But was it a cash grab? Yeah, you're too right. It was a cash grab, mainly from the promoters. Fury's retirement, spoke about that. He ain't going to retire. There's too much money on the table, isn't there? John Fury versus Dean White. What did I think to all that? That was just a subplot, wasn't it? John Fury had to make a bit of noise. That's what he's there to do. He's there to create a bit of controversy. He's there to get some views for everybody, mainly BT, and bring attention to the show. So they just take his dog lead off, don't they, and let him run riot, don't they? What is Dylan White's body of work? Well, Dylan White's body of work: Joseph Parker and Lucas Brown. That's his body of work. That is it. Joseph Parker, the stinkinator at the time, but he'd bashed Dylan White up now, wouldn't he? Now he's got Andy Lee with him. Lucas Big Daddy Brown, big 20 stoner in his 40s. That's Dylan White's body of work. The rest of Dylan White's body of work is on IFL, isn't it? Where he's shouting his mouth off and making himself famous. Who's advising Dylan White? The Keystone Cops, I think, innit? That's who's advising him. Keystone Cops. Jeffrey Benz. Jeffrey. What he knows about boxing, you could write on the back of a stamp. Dylan White's been knocked out how many times now? Been knocked out a couple of times now, and Fury's knocked him out. Povetkin's knocked him out. Joshua's knocked him out. So he's been put into orbit 3 times now, hasn't he? So he's weak around the old whiskers, isn't he? I'd like to see Dylan White in with somebody like Nathan Gorman or Daniel DeBar. Maybe Daniel DeBar. I'd like to see him with him. Has Dylan White overachieved? You bet he has. He's done really, really well. You've got to tip your hat to him. What do I think about all the mind games leading up to it all? Well, I think that somebody else would pull in Dylan White's chain, really, and directed him, telling him to do this and do that. Looks like a bit of natural light in here. That's a bit better, isn't it? That's a bit better. I think that Dylan White had somebody else dictating to him what to do, what to say, how to carry on, what press conferences to go to, blah, blah, blah. No doubt he's probably showed his contract to Eddie Hills, the 5-0 Iceman from Billericay, free by way of, but we've got no footage. Can't swear, can I? Get done for swearing here now. Living in a PC world, aren't we? But mind game. What did I think about Dylan White coming out as a southpaw? Worst southpaw impression I've ever seen in my life. Fury must have been wetting his knickers when he's seen him coming out like that. He must have been thinking, oh God, this is just a glorified sparring session with me, for me. When I spoke about Dylan White's body of work, I look at other fights that he had. You know, Malcolm Tan, Marius Bach, Chisora, Brown twice, Chisora, Povetkin twice. These are like old shot men, aren't they? When we're going to see Dylan White in with a hungry guy, one younger than him, one who wants to put it on him, we're not going to see that, are we? But I think he'll end up a gatekeeper. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're a millionaire and you're a gatekeeper, that's brilliant, isn't it? I wouldn't have had a problem with that. Was the Fury versus White show the biggest con to ever con the con? I'm brutal, aren't I? Am I brutal? Yeah, I think it were. Everyone say it was a good fight. Didn't deliver, did it? Didn't deliver. 94,000 people, they went home disappointed. What happened to maximum violence? Well, what happened to that? We were promised maximum violence. You're walking around with maximum violence. And I've been in camp for months and months. It was minimum violence, wasn't it? You know, all that howling like a rooster and all that. What is all that about? What were all that about? Will Dillian Whyte now leave Eddie Hills? Nah. I don't think he's going to leave Eddie Hills. I don't think his bread's buttered there. You see, a lot of them, when they go with Eddie Hearn, they listen to all his stories, don't they? And I've spoken to certain boxers about this, and what Eddie does, he tells them horror stories about other promoters, not going to mention any names. They'll say things like they're not getting paid and this and that, and you're frightened. So you think this is the only game in town. And that's the mindset that Dillian Whyte's got. And when he gets paid from Frank Warren, he'll know Eddie was talking lots of crap, wasn't it? I'm assuming he will get paid. So I'm sure his money is going to be in escrow, isn't it? Or is it? Or was it? We don't know, do we? Does Dillian Whyte listen to too many yes men? Well, where's this Jeffrey come from? Jeffrey. Well, look, Dillian Whyte was doing all right in his career, wasn't he, when he was coming through at ranks, and you get to promised land and you feel like you have to set all these no walls on. People are saying no walls on left, right, and centre, aren't they? You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Bad advice, poor game plan, no promotion, no punches landed, people in his hero. That's what you've got. That's the Dillian Whyte story, isn't it? Too many no-walls. How many people in that corner? Take some advice from me, Dillian Whyte. You're probably not watching this, but your big fake brother will be. And he seems to know boxing. And when I see him in interviews, he's pretty level-headed. So Dean White, whatever your name is, not really interested. Take some good advice. Get gone. You and all the people around Dillian Whyte, you're all responsible for blowing in his ear hole and blowing up his arsehole. You're all responsible for the mess that is Dillian Whyte at the moment. Beaten up and knocked about and that. He's in no man's land. Oh, 4 year mandatory and all that carry on, all that crap they were coming out with. And look what happened. He turned up, wanted to be a pit bull. It was like a poodle. Like that. Not good. So, like I said, it was at fault. The team around him. You're only at fault for the people around you. And that's the fault that Dillian Whyte's got. The people around him. So was I right all along? Yeah. If you're surrounded by shit, you're swimming in a shit feast, aren't you? Look at me. I used to be surrounded by shit houses constantly. Now look. I'm swimming in light, aren't I? Get rid of dead wood. Richard Towers told me that a few years ago. So you've got to get rid of dead wood and get yourself surrounded by the right people. Now, wait from strength to strength. There ain't enough hours in the day for me at home, but nobody gives a hoot about me. When I was lucky at Dennis's, I thought I need to change me. I need to change. I'm just jobs worth, just lucky. Wanting to learn boxing, but you're doing jobs that are not to do with boxing. You've got to. AJ Hobson says to me, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. And that's what they need to do. Get out of the comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone, Dylan. Get rid of all them around you. People blowing in your ear. I used to have it. When I was doing this channel at the beginning, people, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Rush, you need to do this. Rush, you need to do that. You pulled here, there, and everywhere. And eventually, you work it out yourself. You've got to get the right people around you. Dillian Whyte needs a new trainer. He don't need a manager. He can manage himself, but he needs somebody to act on his behalf. That's what he needs. You know, people, I don't know what people are telling him, but they're gassing him up. And he gassed his centre that much that people would actually come up to me saying, you know what, I think Dillian Whyte might do him if he catches him. What? What? You just saw what Povetkin did to him. Tyson Fury took one look at that Povetkin fight. Hey, John Fury, listen, I ain't got no time for John Fury, but he nailed it, didn't he? They nailed game plan, didn't they? They're not daft. Tyson wasn't daft. He knew he were open to uppercut, didn't he? What an uppercut it was, wasn't it? I mean, the uppercut, how he couldn't see that coming, I don't know, because he doesn't know what he's doing. He'll regret the day he left Mark Tibbs. Dillian Whyte has had all the advice for years has been, he's just got brain cells missing. I must have been drinking a pina colada when I was writing that. He's got brain cells missing. Look, you know when you get whacked in the head, you lose a few brain cells. You've got billions and billions of brain cells in your head. Boom. Every time you get whacked, you lose some of them. Every time you go out with your mates and you get pissed up and you get out your brains, you lose more brain cells. You don't like me talking about Scooby-Doo. But eventually, you lose all them brain cells and you go from having trillions to billions to millions. That's when you got problems. And I think Dillian Whyte's got something going on in his head that he don't know what's happening. And he's not handling it very good. Rich man. He's took advice to go to Portugal. He's out there for tax reasons, because you pay a lot less in Portugal, blah, blah, blah. Somebody's advising him badly, in my opinion. I think you put it all into a mixing pot. Well, what have you got? You've got a rotten stew, haven't you? You've got a rotten stew on pan. You don't want to eat it, do you? No matter how much it's bubbling. I think it all came home to roost. The missing B sample. How many years has that been missing now? Is it 3 years? How long's that B sample been missing now? Is it 2018 summer? 2019? I think is it 18? 18 and 19? I think you know it 19. Is it 3 years? Dillian Whyte's B sample has been missing 3 years. Why? How can you let a B sample go missing like that? How? Who's at fault here? Why ain't nobody pulling him up on it? Oh, that was a bit of a mess, wasn't it? All swept away. So it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. You know, I saw him at the weigh-in and that, all that entourage. What did I think to that? But his mates, aren't they? I thought they conducted themselves perfect at that weigh-in. Face up and that. I thought they conducted themselves all right. I thought John Fury lost it. You know what I mean? John Fury's all bark and no bite, and he's always going to do this or going to do that. John, you've been out of jail 7 years, haven't you, this August? You've not thrown a fucking punch. But you're going to do this and going to do that. And don't note. So pipe down. You're just there to get views and bring attention to shows. That's all. But like I said, you don't 2 hours can't fight for you. Is Dillian Whyte heading for Skid Row now? If he's on Skid Row, might be a few pence behind him. We're all going to find out if Tyson Fury is really retired. The 14 days from his statement saying he's retired. So any day now, we're going to see the WBC say, Tyson, are you retired? If you are, we're going to let the next two fight for the belt. I don't think Dillian Whyte should be fighting for vacant belt. If that's true, I don't think he deserved it. It wasn't like it were a close fight, or controversial. It was a beat down, wasn't it? It was a good old gypsy beat down, wasn't it? No, I think Bartley Gorman would have been proud of it, wouldn't he, if he were here today? It was a beat down, wasn't it? Tyson dissected him. He didn't look in trouble. When you've got somebody that can move like that, he's got that reach. I mean, what is he? 11 inches, 12 inches arm length, longer than anybody else. And he's got that height. He's half a foot taller than most of them, isn't he? So when he can move, so when he can fight, and he makes full use of all them attributes. So I don't see anybody beating him. He'd probably roast Joshua on a grill. You'd have roast Joshua on barbecue if Tyson fought Anthony Joshua. It'd be a beatdown. So who do I want to see Dillian fight? Who do I personally want to see him fight next? Dillian Whyte. Wilder, Joyce, Dubois, Ergovic, or Andy Ruiz. Any one of them 5 if they all want to fight. Wilder's saying he's retired. Joyce is he's going for some mandatory, or his weight parked up. The Bar's fighting Trevor Bryant, Ergovic and Ruiz. Get them in with Dillian Whyte. Let's see Dillian again. Let's give him another pay-per-view, but shot fighter, gatekeeper. He'll end up another Derek Chisora. Do I want to see Derek Chisora, Dylan, 3? No, I don't. So can it safely be said that White is British level? Yeah, he's about British level at the moment. That is it. Squeaking into British level. But that's all he ever were anyway, wasn't he, really? A glorified domestic guy with a bit of hype. That's the bottom line. There's no wrong in that. There's nothing wrong in that, Bert. That's just my opinion. How many pay-per-views has he had now? 7, is it? 7 or 8? You've got millions in bank. But basically, Dillian Whyte, in my opinion, was just a domestic level cherry-picking fighter who navigated his way through fights and created a lot of hype. And he's got a lot to thank Eddie Hearn for. Eddie Hearn put him on the map and got him out there. Coogan needs respect as well for it. Am I being harsh on Dillian Whyte with 7 or 8 pay-per-views and were we lucky? No. Carl Froch only had 3 pay-per-views on Sky. He's the greatest living boxer ever, in my opinion. But Carl Froch certainly brought pay-per-view back, didn't he? After David A got it binned off, didn't he? So can you imagine if Huey Fury fought Dillian Whyte? Would I like to see that fight? So right, I'd like to see that fight on Sky. It'd be a slaughter. It'd be a slaughter. Huey would slaughter him. Maybe Huey's not as polished as Tyson, but if Tyson's a 10, Huey's an 8, and that's good enough to beat Whyte, isn't it? And Huey's still got time to get to a 10, hasn't he? So it'd be a slaughter. Huey would slaughter him. Slaughter him. Will Dillian Whyte now be hung out to dry by Bricktop or Eddie Hills? I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. Does Eddie Hills and Bricktop care for Dillian Whyte? No. How many times has Dillian Whyte been to Eddie Hearn's for Sunday dinner, to his own personal house? How many? Be interested to see, wouldn't it? What now for all the... oh, is that about it? Yeah, so I think we'll bring that Dillian Whyte thing to an end now. I think we'll bring that Dillian Whyte thing to an end, and I'm going to go... I've got a doctor's appointment, and I'll come back and get stuck into this. I've got a pain that going right across my lats here. It goes straight across my back every time I do that. Oh, I'm in agony. We're told it could be a blood clot, or I don't know, due to all injections I've had, or travelling and flight. I don't know, but I'm going up to the doctor's in a minute and see that. I'll come back and we'll get stuck into this. I don't think I'll get through this lot today. There's 4 or 5 days worth here. But okie dokie. So we are a quarter of the way through. So there might be 4 or 5 videos here. So it's all good, but we'll get changed and get up to doctors. All right. So peace out. Keep on trucking. Keep supporting boxing. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment and share it on your WhatsApp. But thank you very much to all them people that have been subscribing and sharing. All right. Peace out.
Dave, it's quite hot in here, isn't it?
Come here. Come here.
What?
Oh, focus. Zoom. 73, baby.
Can we not turn that down?
Yeah, I can if I want.
But you don't want to?
Yeah.
Oh!